It's beer. You know, we just love drinking beer. Yeah. A year ago when we came, there was no craft beer here at all, and some of the regular customers really started to enjoy it. Word's gotten out. Have about 40 customers around town, and I think people are starting to recognize that it's good stuff. Most craft beers are ales, so there's two types of beers in the categories. You have lager and you have ale. Most craft beer is ale, but there are some lagers. Most of them are also non-pasteurized and they're fresh with no preservatives. So that's the thing, is they're fresh. They're always kept cold, they never get warm, and we want them to taste perfect all the time. Beervana in Bangkok started this up like 3 or 4 years ago, and they're doing the same. They did the same thing there that I'm trying to do here. Just bring craft ale to a market that wants it. Well, the thing about brewing craft beer is that you actually have to be small. You have to be 6 million barrels or less per year. If you do over 6 million barrels, you typically become more corporate oriented and maybe have, you know, some shareholders, and you don't have the craft associated to it. You don't have the owner of the company, who is the brewer, hand making it and overseeing the quality and the variation. So by its nature, it has to be small. So many of the brands up here maybe you haven't even heard of, except that we pull in just the best beers from these different brands to make sure that we have the best beers available. Yeah, before I got involved with this and I was living in Bangkok, I always sought out pubs that had good ale, and some of them were fresh. Like there was the Londoner on Sukhumvit. Went there a lot, just had some nice ale, and went around to places that specifically had beers that weren't just the standard 8 lagers that are available in Thailand. And now there's just more and more becoming available, and that's great. This bottle shop space here has been open about 8 months, but the company started about a year ago. Pattaya is also known for being a city to come to that isn't too expensive. So to have beers that are over 200 baht each can be shocking for some people. But in general, it's been okay. I mean, our prices are also a lot less than they are in Bangkok, so the economy of scale is lower, but people still enjoy it. Coming down here, when you first bring them the product, they're not quite sure about it, but after they taste it, they recognize that it's delicious. So if they feel like a good product is available for customers that would want it, then they buy it. It's simply a business decision. Many of the resorts have it here. We have the Hard Rock Hotel and the Cape Dar Resort, the Sheraton, both Centauras, and we typically try to target 4- and 5-star restaurants just because it goes very nicely with food as well. If you go back into some of the Western countries, such as the U.S., craft beer is just huge. You go to pubs and all 8 or 10 drafts will all be some craft beer, and they might all be even IPA. The IPA is a bitter beer, and sometimes the Thai palate or people in Thailand want something a little sweeter. So it takes some time to get used to the bitterness of the IPAs, but that's sort of, I think, where you go when you start to evolve with these beers and you really like them. And I think when people start to drink more and more, they'll just get more and more involved in the bitter beers and how good the freshness tastes. Yeah, so wheat beers have been around a long time, and they would generally come from Belgium or Germany. We have some delicious craft wheat beers as well, but it's clear that they came from Europe. They've been established here for quite some time. I think that with the evolution of craft beer here in Pattaya, the evolution of those Belgian beers and German wheat beers that have been here for a while will also get bigger and bigger, simply because that also is an ale. You know, these are mostly ale, so it's a different type of brewing process and has a different type of flavor, and very closely related. Well, so we brought in Rogue Santa's Private Reserve Red Ale for Christmas, so we have that on tap. So we might bring in 1 or 2 seasonal beers just before the season starts and you know, sell to the clients. We have distribution in Chiang Mai, Isan, and Phuket, and Pattaya here. So we're growing all over the country. I just think the beer is awesome. I mean, that's the thing. These craft beers taste so good that if people come in with an open mind, and if they've only had a lager before and they taste what they think is a beer, the flavor is going to be so different they might be caught off guard. But if they come in with an open mind, try it, try to experiment with the flavors, it can be really enjoyable. Similar to a wine tasting. If anybody's ever done that and didn't drink wine before, but they go drink some wine and really try to understand it, it can be a lot of fun and be very enjoyable.